Welcome back to Hardball. Donald Trump's latest feud is with the magazine Vanity Fair. This morning, the president tweeted, "Vanity Fair, which looks like it is on its last legs, is bending over backwards in apologizing for the minor hit they took at Crooked Hillary." Anna Wintour, who was all set to be ambassador to the Court of St. James and a big fundraiser for Crooked Hillary, is beside herself in grief and begging for forgiveness. The apology Trump mentioned was for a video showing editors offering mock advice to Hillary Clinton, including a line that maybe she should take up knitting. It's not clear exactly why the president weighed in on the controversy this morning, but it certainly fits a pattern. Since taking office, the president has feuded with senators, the press, actors, athletes, and the Justice Department.
A lot of people are disappointed in the Justice Department, including me. He came out with this horrible book, and I said, who is this guy? His poll numbers are terrible. He's done terribly for the great people of Arizona.
I noticed Chuck Schumer yesterday with fake tears. I'm going to ask him who is his acting coach.
We have a representative in Congress who they say was here a long time ago. They call her Pocahontas.
You heard what he said yesterday, Senator McCain.
Yeah, well, I hear it. People have to be careful because at some point I fight back.
Yeah.
I'm being very nice.
I think that's
very nice. But at some point I fight back, and it won't be pretty.
President Trump also called his own attorney general beleaguered. He said Senator Bob Corker was a lightweight and incompetent. He attacked the leadership ability of the mayor of San Juan in the wake of a hurricane there. He said football players who kneeled during the anthem were showing total disrespect for our great country. He called LeVar Ball, the father of a basketball player detained in China, an ungrateful fool. After he attacked the president, he called Saturday Night Live not funny and really bad television. He even said that Meryl Streep was one of the most overrated actresses in Hollywood. For more on all of this, I'm joined by Jason Johnson, politics editor at The Root and an MSNBC contributor. And Jason, maybe we try to take the big picture look at all of this. We're a year in. I think we weren't sure when Donald Trump was elected. I know in an interview right after the election last year, he said, "I'm probably not going to tweet at all." Safe to say this has been institutionalized as part of his presidency. We can certainly look at his poll numbers and say there's a good reason to believe that speaking this way, tweeting this way, is negatively affecting his numbers. We've never seen anything like this. I'm wondering, though, is there also something in this formula when we look at the support that he does have?
Right.
This does seem connected somehow. There is something here in terms of the appeal that he does have to a certain type of voter, I guess.
Well, it's true, but honestly, Steve, all we have to do is go back to what Trump saying when he was running for president last year. There's a certain segment of people in America that Donald Trump could run down the street and shoot somebody in Times Square and they would still support him. So it doesn't matter if he tweeted all the time. It doesn't matter if he tweeted nice things. It doesn't matter if he tweeted mean things. There's about 37% of the U.S. population that are going to love Donald Trump no matter what he does. But it's everybody else in the country who tends to find the tweets distracting and disturbing. And I just want to point out that earlier this year, when you had a lot of people, a lot of analysts saying, "Oh, don't worry, these Trumps, they're strategic. It's part of some three-dimensional chess that the president's playing to distract us." No, this is how he feels. This is his personal id on the computer. It's not to distract us from other policies. It's because I really don't think he has anything else to do with his time.
Well, it's interesting, too, because before Donald Trump came along, the eternal lament about politicians was, I wish they would stop being so phony. I wish they would tell us what they really think. I'm tired of these formulaic, statements, very carefully practiced, very carefully choreographed. It seems now this year is the year I'm hearing the exact opposite lament. I miss those boring pre-written statements.
Yeah, everybody wishes babies could talk until they start, right? Once children start, you're like, wait, I don't want to keep answering these questions from a 2-year-old. The same thing about the president, right? I remember, I'm old enough to remember back when Barack Obama was first elected and he was giving speeches every other month and people were saying, "Get back to work, President Obama, quit talking so much." Well, the problem with Trump tweeting is not simply that he's saying mean things, it's that his tweets are often they're inaccurate, they're hostile, they deliver information that is untrue. They attack other countries. The tweets don't build anything that we actually need in this country. And one thing, Steve, I think is really important to point out. these aren't feuds that we're talking about here. Like, a feud is like Golden State and the Cavs, right? Those are teams that are feuding. They're fighting with each other. Donald Trump simply picks targets and attacks them. He goes after people who have said nothing to him. Yes, Jeff Flake has issues with Trump. Yes, Bob Corker has issues with Trump. But Jeff Sessions has been nothing but loyal, and Donald Trump still attacked him. LeVar Ball has nothing to do with Trump, and the president still attacked him. So these aren't feuds. These are the ranting and ravings of a president who should be much more busy actually, I don't know, working on policy than attacking random people on Twitter.
Well, and as if on cue, just moments ago, we can tell you about this one. President Trump tweeting out, again, minutes ago, about the weather. He mocked the concept of global warming because it's cold outside. The president writing in the East, it could be the coldest New Year's Eve on record. Perhaps we could use a little bit of that good old global warming that our country, but not other countries, was going to pay trillions of dollars to protect against. Bundle up. You know, Jason, on this show the other night, we had a guest who said what the president does on Twitter often is trolling. He puts stuff out there to intentionally provoke and inflame his critics and to get a reaction. I read that tweet. I say, it seems like that's what he's trying to do there.
Well, Steve, to me, it seems like this is another feud. The president consistently has a feud with science and facts and common sense and policy. I honestly don't think it's trolling. I don't think that most of the things that President Trump does are because he's trying to inspire the ire of his enemies. I think it's just honestly how he feels and what he wants to say at the time. But it speaks to sort of this larger problem that we have here. Look, whether or not you believe in global warming, even though there's lots of scientists who say it's real, the issue is that global warming isn't about things getting hotter. It's about more erratic weather. It's about having summertime temperatures in the middle of winter and having wintertime temperatures in the middle of the summer. And the fact that the president, even if he's attempting to mock the issue, doesn't seem to understand those basics as a reflection of the kinds of problems that we have with this presidency. We want you to at least be smart and witty if you're going to troll people, not sound like a fool.
All right, Jason Johnson, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
All right.